Oh, I am on, huh? Well, you can cut all this part out because I wasn't ready, but here we go. Morning, white-haired gardener here. Today, it's fence repairing time. I've got a project for you. Now, this fence is about 3 years old. It works wonderfully, but it's reaching the end of its life. The netting is very fragile, kind of dry rotted, and you can see by these poor little balls here that they're about ready to go as well. Now, we've got the things that you're going to need for this would be netting. It says wildlife netting here, and no, we aren't sponsoring these people. We're just showing you what we use. But if you want to tell them that we've mentioned nice things about them, feel free. But this is 100 feet, and conveniently, our garden, through no planning of our own, is just under 100 feet. You'll also need these festive little play balls. Now you can go with whimsy and leave them all pretty multicolored. Or you can paint them with the green paint that we have here to make them match the T-posts, which is what we like because Mr. Whitehair Gardener loves continuity. You will also need two sizes. See, I should have brought them up here, but two sizes of the zip ties. So the big ones are for going around the large T-posts, and the small ones are for touch-up work. With that, I would recommend a garbage bag and these little side cutters. That is great for finishing it off. Once you've pulled the zip ties through, you just clip them off, makes a nice finished look, and basically it's magic. But yeah, this is at its last legs, and oh yeah. Okay, the blue bag is for putting the ends of those little ties in here. Then you can bag it up, put it in recycling. It's plastic, or throw it away depending on your preferences. Other than that, we're going to be taking off this netting, and I will show you shortly the next step. And this is the size of our project today. Now we will be removing all of the little balls, all of the netting, so you can just see the naked poles. Don't get your hopes up, and we'll get back to you shortly. Well, as you can see, all the netting is down and all those little balls are gone, and the posts are now naked. I told you not to get your hopes up. Anyway, right now, the first thing that Mr. White-haired Gardener had done is he scalded, what he calls scalding, the fence line there, all the grass, cut it way short, because that'll make it a lot easier for us to put that netting up. Other than that, what we're going to do next is put the little festive balls on here, and then Mr. White-haired Gardener will spray paint them all green to match the poles. Man, also, I'm having a little problem with those horrid biting gnats. And I wanted to remind you that we have a video that plain vanilla spray seems to repel those, plus it attracts Mr. White-haired Gardener. So I will put a link down below on this. It's a handy tip. You're not spraying poison on yourself, and it actually works. There we go. Look, festive balls. Now, Mr. White-haired Gardener insists on painting them green so that they go with the poles. But you do you. If you want a little bit of whimsy, keep them like this or paint them. Well, thank you. One of the chickens is bragging right now, so we have eggs to look forward to. Anyway, back to this. As you can see, Mr. White-haired Gardener has painted all of the little balls on top of the poles. They look really great, and we've checked to see if they're dry, and they are. Now, remember, if you're doing this, wait until the paint is totally dry. Otherwise, when you put the netting over them, it'll stick and it'll make your life miserable. But right now, this is all good. We're going to start a couple of the netting and let you see how it goes, but we won't have you suffer through the entire fence. So we'll show you a couple and then show you the finished product, and next comes the net. Well, as I mentioned, we did the first two, and we'll show you how we started it. Now, this will be our starter pole, tensioning pole, anchor pole. There you go. And what we did is we took the netting, we wrapped it around the bottom first. Then we tied it closed, pulled it up, wrapped it around the top, and exactly where we wanted it, and did another tie right at the top. That will tension it at the top and the bottom. Then what we did is we walked down here and did the same thing to the next pole. First, always first, we tension the bottom. That holds it down here. We did a little tug of war so that the bottom is nice and tight. Once we've done that, we adhere that. We go all the way up to the top, tension it vertically, and add another tie right here. Now we've got a relatively decent, it's not going to be, you know, we can't flip a quarter off of it, but it's nice and firm. And then we rinse and repeat. We go around to the next one, do a little tug of war at the bottom so we have a nice firm bottom. No comments. Nice firm bottom. Tie this off here, pull it up, drape it over, and tension it at the top. And we'll continue this all the way around. We will go back and add a couple of more supports through the middle, but right now we're just placing this netting and getting it exactly where we want it. Well, we are done. Well, for the most part. Got a gate in. All we have to do is put this last little gate in and maybe some fine tuning on the netting, but really, for all intents and purposes, we are done. We've tensioned the top nicely. The bottom we've tensioned all the way around, and we had a perfect amount. We even have extra. So we are good with this. Just a couple little things more to do, and we are happy campers and finished with this project for today. If you liked what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe, and buy a hardworking Mrs. White-haired Gardener a cup of coffee, and I might even share with Mr. White-haired Gardener.